Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. On behalf of the Latino Book and Family Festival, I'd like to welcome you. I'm just here to introduce the main person that's in charge of our press conference, which is Dean Caballero, Dean Cesar Caballero, the Dean of Administrative Library Services here, and in charge of this great, beautiful building, and he'll take it from there.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Buenas tardes. Cal State San Bernardino is proud to announce that it will be hosting the Latino Book and Family Festival, scheduled to be held on May 4th, 2013. The event will take place in the San Manuel Events Center located on this beautiful campus, and if needed, in the grounds in front of the FAO Library, this building. The festival's goal of promoting literacy is in line with the university's mission and goals. The entertainment, cultural, and educational activities that will be offered on the day of the festival will help to attract families to CSUSB's campus. Their visit to our campus will introduce or reinforce the concepts of higher education. Furthermore, University President Tomás Morales is committed to promoting college readiness among all school-age children of the region and the nation. He and other educational leaders recognize that reading is a skill which is fundamental to the educational success of every child. It is our hope that the Latino Book and Family Festival will inspire whole families to become skilled and avid readers. We also hope that it will inspire educators to implement reading programs that will help to raise the literacy and educational levels in our region. CSUSB and the Latino Literacy Now invite all families in the inland region to join us on May 4th for the Latino Book and Family Festival. The planning committee for this event is working diligently to provide a varied and stimulating array of activities of interest to family members of all ages. The members of the planning committee are here to provide information about the types of activities that will be offered and to answer any questions that you may have. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing great time publisher, amigo at large, and of course, a co-founder of Latino Literacy Now, Kirk Whisler. Kirk, un aplauso.
Gracias, Cesar. Okay. In 1997, I was honored to co-found the festival with my compadre, Edward James Olmos. And it was a time where, as we looked around at the various festivals and community events, there were none that had an education focus out there. And that's what the key thing that Eddie and I wanted to do, create an event that had the educating yourself, educating your family, bringing everybody up to that next level type event. And since we founded it, the first one in LA, 50 festivals have been held, 850,000 people have attended the festivals. And to show you how many are held out there, before this one is held on May 4th, we will have another one on April 6th and 7th in Chicago. So it's where they go on all over the place and that, and it's out of commitment to the community that we do them. And we're just so glad because of the many authors, and we're pleased with all the authors that we're able to attend today, and there'll be dozens more at the festival itself. Over the years, we've had over 500 different Latino authors at the festivals. So it's a wonderful setting for exposing young people to books, reaffirming older people into books and that. So we're very pleased to be partnering with Cal State San Bernardino and with all the organizations here in San Bernardino. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirk. That was great. And of course, we have other folks here who are going to talk to us about the participants, especially the participating authors. After all, this is a literary book type of activity. So let me introduce Kathy Díaz, who will be coordinating the authors. Kathy?
Thank you, and I'm really, really happy to. Oh, the mic, sorry. Okay. Is that better? Oh, okay. First of all, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm especially proud to say that so many of our authors are here today. As you know, Book Festival wouldn't be a book festival if there weren't authors there. And one thing about the Latino Book and Family Festivals, we're very open-minded. We don't reserve it just for Latino writers. People who write about Latino themes, or people who just write good books are the kinds of authors that we want at our festival, because they expose the audience, young and old alike, to a whole wide world, which, if all of you are probably readers, you know that reading can really take you places, can teach you things. So these are the people that give us the books that we want to read. So I'd like to introduce a few of them. If you have your book, just hold it up, and I'd like to tell all of our authors to please stay, because after the press conference is over, they want to do a one-on-one with you, some video that will be put up on some of our social media sites. So please stay. Okay, so Dr. Carlos Cortés, I believe he's still here. His book is Rose Hill. He's holding it in his hand, An Intermarriage Before Its Time, a wonderful memoir. And I should also mention that he is a consultant with Dora the Explorer and Go Diego Go, and that's why he might have to leave right away, because some of those bigwigs are here today at the LEAD conference, and he might have to sneak out. Dani Dixon is here, and she's a repeat author to the Latino Book and Family Festival. Comics and sci-fi are her specialty, so you can see the range of books that we have. Kevin Gerard, who is over here taking a peek at the table. His what would you say, fantasy, Kevin? Yes. Fantasy. And is it mostly for young adults? Yes, middle school students, okay. And he's from San Diego. His books are Diego's Dragon, Book 1, Spirits of the Sun, and Diego's Dragon, Book 2, Dragons of the Dark Rift. Okay. Then we have Jerry Martinez. All right. Jerry's book is The Timely Conquest, which takes place mainly in New Mexico and parts of Kansas, Colorado, and Mexico. It's a novel. And he actually, he's also not a stranger to the book festival. We also have Bill Miranda. Bill, way in the back. Bill's book is Latino Courage, How Everyday Latinos Achieve Success. He is the president of the Bill Miranda Leadership Center and CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Latino Chamber of Commerce. And Albert Okura, our Mr. Juan Pollo, his book is The Chicken Man. Well, Albert Okura has his book where he tells you how he is achieving success, but even more important than that, the book is a motivational book to develop other entrepreneurs. Yeah. And hopefully people who will follow in his footsteps of promoting chickens. And Ed Morin is also here, a very personal book that he's written. It's called Valor and Discord. And he comes from a family of writers. His father is also an author, Mexican Americans and the Vietnam War. So just by the handful of writers that we have here, you can see that we have novels, we have real-life stories, we have business and motivation, we have science fiction, comic, fantasy. Oh, and I'm sorry, Wesley Idowu is here. Wesley, back in the corner. Rocksteady is his book, Action Adventure for All Ages. Oh, there's an author in the making. So, as I mentioned, you get an idea of the range of authors, the kinds of books they write. So that will be reflected as well in the presentations that we make, that we schedule during the book festival. We'll have conferences on how to write fiction, how to write real life stories, how to write memoirs. We'll have something probably on comic books, fantasies, you know. So and kids books, of course, kids books. So it's going to be very interesting what's going to be taking place at the festival. I have a book too, and I didn't bring it. I told all my authors, make sure you bring your book. It's in the car. Anyway, mine is a cookbook. So you can see it's Sabores Yucatecos, a culinary tour of the Yucatan, which is focused on Yucatan cuisine. So you can see the wide range, and I think that's what makes the book festival so exciting, that we have all these wonderful authors sharing their wisdom with us in many different ways. Thank you.
That's wonderful. So let's have a random applause for all the authors. All right. All this creativity and intellectual wisdom. Okay. Well, to move right along, before I forget, and I don't mean to forget this because this is important to us. Let me point to the beautiful poster that our friend and colega Armando, please stand up, put together for us. Qué bárbaro. I mean, look at that. Isn't that great graphic art? It's beautiful. And if you go out of the library, as you walk out, you're going to see a mural on the first floor. That's one of his creations as well, with the help of attendees. But in any case, at the last LEAD conference. To go on, also let me mention that we're working with the College of Education. I've already spoken with the dean and one of the department chairs, especially the department chair for literacy and language. And they're on board. They're going to be working with us to develop activities that will be interactive activities, educational activities for the children and the families the day of the event, of the festival. And without more ado, let me also mention that we're working to bring in a lot of venues that will complement the event. One of those venues is, of course, educational, cultural, entertainment, events, activities. But we also plan to bring in an exhibit of images related to Latinos in Hollywood. And for that, let me introduce our friend Alycia Enciso, who will talk to you about that. Alycia.
One of the things I have to say, first of all, that is very exciting is to see the next generation here, because Ms. Díaz here and I, our parents were very involved in the community, Kirk's family as well. So it's great to see that the next generation is playing a role in what's happening in San Bernardino. I just moved home a few years ago. My mom's 88, and it was time for all of us to take care of her. But I am partnering with the Black Voice Foundation and Latinos in Hollywood, an organization that we started called Santa Claus is Coming to San Bernardino, to bring events to the city of San Bernardino, cultural and economic and historic events that will enlighten and create a spirit of hope and excitement about the city of San Bernardino. And one of the things we're doing is that we're bringing back a collection that I started in 1995 while I was a Commissioner of Cultural Affairs for the city of Los Angeles. And Rocky Delgadillo, then a deputy mayor, asked me to start a photo exhibit, and I said, can I choose the subject matter? And he says, what are you thinking of? It's Latinos in Hollywood. I said, love it. Because at that same time, that same year, in 1995, is when we started Latinos in Hollywood, the Latinos in Hollywood Film Festival. And that's when Eddie took it over. So anyway, this exhibit is going to be here from April 26th through May 5th or so. So please join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alycia.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Free parking. There will be no cost for admission, and so it's free and open to the public. We are working on providing free parking. We're hoping to provide free parking. We're not sure yet, but it will be announced. It's something we've got to negotiate with the folks at the university, but we're hoping to have free admission and free parking. Any other question? Anyone? Comments? Sure. Oh, there's another question. Yes, yes, the authors will have books, will have booths, tables for authors to have their books. Hopefully, it'll be an interactive activity where the public will buy a book, ask the authors to sign, maybe, put something on the book to motivate students, the public to read. Yes, sir, Armando. At this point in time, I believe it'll be a little bit of both. We'll have it in the San Manuel Event Center and also in front of the library area. So it'll probably be both, depending on how big the event grows to be by the time we actually hold the event. The event, to repeat the date, May 4th, from about 8 in the morning, starting about 8, 9. I'm sorry, 5? 10 till 5. 10 till 5. I was going, wait a minute, somebody changed the time. Yeah, 10 till 5. 10 till 5. I'm saying 8 because some of us will be here early, but officially the event will open at 10 and will go till 5 in the afternoon. Yes, ma'am. We've got a couple of committees who are working on actually, there's some folks who actually work in the district and are making contact with district officials, because we have a couple of essay contests that we'll be involving students in, and the day of the event we plan to provide the awards. So the word is being put out to the school districts, and also we plan to make thousands of copies of this poster in the form of a flyer, and it'll be distributed widely. Okay, well, one of the things that we would like to mention is our community partners in this activity, who are actually major sponsors also. And so, Martin, do you want to start?
Yes, I'd like to introduce Danny Morales, who is with Librería del Pueblo, a nonprofit organization that works on helping people that are immigrants into the community transition into the American way of life. And then Lucia Negrete, who is the president of the Kiwanis of Greater San Bernardino, who are the ones that are hosting, and that means that they're the ones that are helping us put the whole thing together. So we want to thank them for their efforts and for their participation.